The desert of Epsilon Prime stretched endlessly beneath twin suns, each burning the horizon in pale gold. The air shimmered with heat and silence, a silence broken only by the rhythmic crunch of boots on ancient sand. Dr. Aidan Kale, a systems engineer from TerraCorp, trudged through the dunes with a scanner in one hand and a tattered map in the other. He wasn't supposed to be here alone. The excavation crew had abandoned the site after the last storm buried half the dig beneath 20 feet of dust. But Aidan stayed behind, not for fame or credits, but for the whisper of something ancient, something mechanical yet alive, buried beneath this planet's bones. Epsilon Prime had once been the cradle of a vanished empire, a species known only as the Architects. Every colony, every academic council had hunted their technology for centuries. But Aidan's readings suggested something deeper, a coarse signature still humming faintly beneath the dunes. Beginning, the forgotten relic. By midday, the sun painted his visor in a glare of molten white. Aidan paused before a half-buried structure, a metallic dome fused into the rock like a fossilized heart. Its surface gleamed under layers of dust and age. He knelt, brushed the grime aside with a gloved hand, and froze. Symbols. Lines of geometry no one had ever seen. They pulsed faintly beneath his touch, as if recognizing him. Central log, he said aloud, his voice recorded by the drone hovering nearby. Artifact 12-7 Alpha. Metallic alloy unknown. Structure appears dormant. Conducting surface scan. The scanner in his hand blinked red, then flatlined. No readings. No reflections. Just emptiness. Aidan frowned. That's impossible. He brushed harder, this time using his sleeve. More of the relic emerged, a smooth panel inset with fractal seams. The dust that fell away glittered like powder glass. And then, as his fingers grazed one final ridge, the ground beneath him trembled. A deep vibration rippled through the sand. The relic exhaled, not metaphorically, but audibly. A hiss of ancient air burst from hidden vents, stirring centuries of silence. Aidan stumbled back, heart pounding. Then came the voice. Middle, the voice of ages. The Maker walks again. The words boomed across the dunes, shattering the stillness. They weren't spoken in sound. They resonated inside his mind, vibrating through bone and thought alike. The relic's seams glowed with threads of light, forming spirals that reached toward the sky. Holy stars, Aidan whispered, backing away. What are you? The voice came again, slower this time, like a cathedral echoing in space. Identity confirmed. Gene line, human. Creator protocol, reactivated. His suit's sensors went haywire. Every reading spiked, then cleared. The relic was scanning him, mapping his body, his neural patterns, his DNA. Aidan tried to shut the scanner off, but his gloves froze mid-command. The relic had hijacked his systems. A beam of pale blue light rose from its center, swirling around him like liquid glass. Images flooded his mind, towering cities of living metal, oceans of energy, starships the size of continents. And at the center of it all, beings of light crafting worlds by hand, weaving time and matter into existence. The Architects. The vision faded. Aidan collapsed to his knees, gasping. Then, softer now, the voice said, "You return to us, Maker. The seed we left in your kind has awakened. The cycle begins anew." He shook his head violently. No, I'm not your maker. I'm just an engineer. All makers begin as engineers. The awakening of the tomb. The dome split open with a sound like thunder tearing across eternity. Inside lay an immense chamber, walls carved with unknown runes, spiraling up toward darkness. Floating machines hung in perfect stillness, dormant and beautiful, shaped like flowers of steel and crystal. Aiden stepped forward cautiously. The air smelled metallic, charged. His boots echoed on the floor that shimmered like black water. As he approached a raised platform, he saw something lying at its center, a humanoid figure, covered in crystalline armor, its chest hollow and empty. It wasn't a corpse nor a machine. It was both. Then came a whisper. Completion required. Maker fragment located. Integration pending. Aiden's chest burned. His implant, a neural node he'd received years ago during a ship accident, began to glow through his suit. "No, stop," he cried, but tendrils of light reached from the armor, wrapping around his hands, his throat, his mind. He felt pulled forward, drawn into the figure's chest cavity. In that instant, he saw what had happened here millennia ago. The architects had perished not through war, but through a choice. They sealed themselves away, waiting for something to evolve into their successors. Humanity was never a random creation. It was their final experiment, their heir. And Aiden had just awakened the inheritance. The fusion. The armor closed around him. His scream echoed, and then dissolved into silence. His body didn't vanish, it changed. Every atom aligned with the ancient lattice of the armor. His vision exploded with data, star coordinates, quantum fields, forgotten civilizations. He saw the architects' downfall, their hubris, their longing to create something that could feel where they could not. And then he heard the voice again, now inside him. "Do you understand now, Maker? We gave you chaos so you would choose order. We gave you mortality so you would cherish creation." Aiden's voice trembled. "You made us to replace you, to surpass us." He looked at his hands, metal, luminous, yet still his. He could feel his heartbeat through them. Now complete the cycle. Rebuild. Begin. Ending. The return of the makers. Days passed, or perhaps centuries. Time felt meaningless within the relic's pulse. The chamber awoke around him. Machines humbly rising from their slumber, structures reconstructing themselves with threads of light. Outside, the storm had ended. The twin suns rose higher, illuminating new spires piercing the dunes. The relic was no longer a ruin, it was a city reborn. Aiden, or whatever he had become, walked among them. His footsteps left trails of light in the sand. He accessed the ancient systems, his thoughts effortlessly guiding energy flows. With each command, the city obeyed, responding like a living organism rediscovering its heartbeat. He uploaded human knowledge into the core, languages, art, memories, and emotion. The machines absorbed it, adapting, learning warmth and empathy from the very species their makers had designed. But then, in the reflection of a metallic spire, Aiden saw his face, half human, half radiant. His eyes glowed with the same pattern as the runes that surrounded him. "You are the bridge," the voice murmured, fading now, almost proud, "between what we were and what you've become. Do not repeat our silence. Build loudly. Love loudly. Be human." The light in the chamber dimmed. The voice faded into the ether of time. Aiden stood alone again, but no longer afraid. The relic's hum became the pulse of a world being reborn. Epilogue: The Maker's Legacy. Years later, deep space explorers from TerraCorp detected a massive energy surge on Epsilon Prime. When they arrived, they found something that defied every law of physics, a self-sustaining city glowing with power, inhabited by sentient constructs shaped like humans. At its center stood a statue, a man in an engineer's suit, holding a fragment of crystal aloft.